What's good, everybody? It's your boy Fury, and I just read the news. UMG.
The court during their Tupac walk on Drake. The federal court throws out the defamation suit, rendering it non-actionable. The lyrics to Not Like Us do not defame Drake. Now, I say to myself, this shit took long enough. I don't know if you agree with me or not. I really can't make you agree with me, but it took long enough. It's out. It's done with. It's over. Or should I say it's over? I don't give a damn. But this didn't have a leg to stand on from Jump Street. And I don't understand how you can be that messed up, that vindictive, that petty of a Drake fan to want this to go on. But you play blissfully ignorant when he said things that defamed Kendrick's girlfriend and his children, his co-worker and best friend, business partner. Like, how do one side not sue or have this up in court? Because one side of this two-person rap beef got the memo. This is what rap beef is all about. And every time I hear some shit like this, all I can think about is that cutaway that everybody uses, that infamous cutaway that comes back to haunt Drake every time. And it's, I study rap battles for a living. Do you? Do you study them for a living, Aubrey? Why would you sue for something like this in the first place? Oh, that's right. Some people sometimes get punched in the face so hard it makes them change their whole life. Remember the whole situation with Imani Khalif during the Olympics? She punched that Italian lady in the face so damn hard that lady got out of the ring and quit the match. She got out of the ring and quit the match. She got punched in the face so damn hard. See, that song, I didn't expect that song to be a hit. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was like, okay, this is gonna be confined to the diss track. No, it went on to be so much more than that. And it was like a suck, it was like a punch that just took, that was a gut punch, basically. It wasn't a punch to a face, to be honest with you. It was a gut punch. That shit knocked, he didn't expect it. When you get hit with a body shot that you don't expect, you like, that was a liver shot. Not Like Us was a liver shot to Drake. Me, I'm gonna tell you, as a fan of Kendrick Lamar, I was like, okay, this is gonna stay within the rap beef, and it's gonna be on and over and done with. And the song found a life on its own. It became an anthem. But he turned it around. And I'm talking about Drake. He turned it around to make it look like the whole world is against them, the rap industry. This is what losers do. And I say that to anybody. When you lose against something and you didn't expect to lose, you kind of turn this whole angle into making it look like you're the victim. He played enough victim Olympics with us for 1 year almost since filing this lawsuit. And I'm glad it got dropped because basically it has no place in that. And if it has no place in hip hop, if you believe that it has a place in hip hop, you're not a fan of hip hop. You're just a fan of Drake. And to paraphrase a friend of mine who do YouTube material, Kick Gravity Beyond, who always says about MAGA, they don't want to save the country. They just want to be celebrities. I say this to a lot of you fans always. You don't want to be hip hop. You're not hip hop fans. You're just Drake fans. Or you basically just want to see Drake win. You don't care about the hip hop genre. You don't. And yes, believe it, Jay, they threw it out. It's done. it's been dismissed. Like, you know what? There was no ground for it anyway. And if the roles were reversed, people, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If the roles were reversed, I would be clowning the shit out of Kendrick Lamar. Rap beefs do not belong in court. Do you know how much vicious things people in past rap beefs have said to one another about boning each other's girls, uh, about kids? Hell, look at what Cardi B has been doing online lately. Her and Nicki Minaj have been going at each other's throat. Hello, hello, Olivia. They've been going at each other's throat, and they're talking about each other's kids. You got Nicki Minaj talking about she gonna kick out. She's gonna kick Cardi B's daughters in the gums. You got Cardi B calling out the fact that both Nicki's father, brother, and husband are S offenders. You got like this, yo. There's been neither one of these people are not up in court with one another yet. That is, yet. But in a rap beef where things have been said, has anybody here raise of hand? Hi, Olivia. Um, by raise of hands, anybody that listens to hip hop on a serious level, have you heard rap beef before? And you heard people say things about each other's moms, about everything. It's just the way the genre goes. It's just the way it goes. Now, there's a rapper about a couple months ago, a battle rapper, who fell out on stage and had a seizure during a rap battle. He will be made fun of for the rest of his battle rap career. It is what it is. This is the type of world we live in, especially when it comes to rap beefs. And just to think, if Aubrey would have just taken control for what it is, for just being in a competitive spirit, he wouldn't be where he's at right now on the losing end of a defamation suit that he shouldn't have not even filed for. He wouldn't be here right now if he would have just taken the song for what it was and the spirit of competition. No, he harbored it in for 12 years, basically. He harbored it and went on a tirade, went on an interview rampage discrediting that song, acting tough, saying, "Well, if that song was really fuck me, it should have been that for real. I just the spirit of the song is lost on me." What did Pusha T say, people? Pusha T said, "I spoke with Kendrick after he put out the Control verse, and he said to me, he said to Push, thank you for understanding. Push is older than I am, and he gets it. This is the competitive spirit to be even mentioned on a song as somebody with uh the skill set and the accurate with the accreditation that he got in the rap game to be mentioned on that song. That means like he sees you as a pair. He mentioned you, Drake. When he mentioned you in a song, it's more insulting to be not mentioned. He mentioned ASAP, Pusha, Drake, Mac Miller, rest in peace. He mentioned people that he found he saw as pairs. You're the only one who took it the wrong way. But I study rap battles for a living. My ass, you do. The fuck you? No, you don't. You don't get it. That's the sad thing about people like him. It's always the case. Always. Oh, God. So here we are in this situation, and we just don't know what's going to happen. And to be honest with you, at this point,
All right, sorry, the microphone dropped. That's my fault. Anyway, I'm back. It's said and done. The ice age is over. So we can go about our lives and hopefully expect Drake to have a little bit more time to put out some better music. See, I'm not a big fan of Drake. I really don't like his music. But there's one thing I always say. I've said it in recorded videos. I'm going to say it here. After this rap beef is said and done and it was over with, people were waiting on you to put out some good music. To hear you really respond to this situation. No, you filed a lawsuit and you continued to go on a victim campaign tour. You leaked Fighting Irish Freestyle, my nigga. That song was you sitting near a uh a fire, a fireplace. You sitting near a fireplace reading rap lyrics that you made to profess your heartbreak over LeBron going to the pop out tour. That's not what we need to hear, people. Did y'all want to hear that? Anybody listening to that? Comment. Did you want to hear Drake cry about LeBron James being at the pop out tour in a rap song after a beef? The summer was over, I missed it. The barrel had smoke, I kissed it. See, nothing was hitting on shit. None of the music he was doing was hitting on shit after this beef, so he had to do something. He panicked. He panicked and he went into court. And he still put out songs. But I think the damage is done. How? I'm not even singing the praises of UMG. A lot of these record labels can't be trusted, but you got to know how to deal with record labels like this. What's the Busta Rhymes said in the on the Extinction Level event album matter on the Everybody Rise song? Get what's yours from out this fucker before your time runs out. Get what's yours from out this fucker before your time runs out. Did he do that? No. He decided to be like, you know what? You guys hurt me. I feel some sort of way about that. Now, with this said and done, they own his soul. UMG owns his soul. What is going to happen, brother, man? The record label's thrown. UMG got the case dismissed, and now that's like you ratting out your abusive parent, and then the court don't believe you, and now you got to go back to live under that household. What do you think is going to happen to him? See, UMG being the abusive parent, but I start to look at them like, no, these two have abused each other. UMG and Drake have abused each other. Of course, the record label's going to abuse their artists. Not abuse, exploit their artists. That's what they do. They're here to make money. We don't gotta like it, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, this is a business. They don't sign you just to spread love and pass out lollipops and hug everybody like you were first generation Bailey. You're not out here for lollipops and hugs. You here because you have a talent that they can exploit, that can get them paid and get you partially paid. But now, these guys, everything was all good. Everything was sweet. You were making the benefits. You were reaping the benefits. You were making money allegedly. But guess what happened? That wasn't enough. You had all these financial accolades. You had all these streaming numbers, but you never had respect, Drake. And the guy that was there the whole time, who was like a silent monster, was there the whole time, gaining all the accolades you wish you could have. All of those. You said, all right, brother man, I'm reading the comments. You said kind of tallish now, not a lot that could be done at this point. See, If they really found, if UMG really thought Drake was a bust, they would have let him leave. That should tell Drake everything he needs to know about himself. You're still valuable to him. Your numbers are still doing well on streams. They're making money off of you. The thing is, like UMG said, you lost the rap battle and now you're lashing out at everyone because you lost. You they said at the beginning of this thing last year, we let you express yourself creatively and engage in outrageous rap battles, but now you're trying to stifle another artist's creation and creativity because you're it's at your expense. That's hypocrisy at its finest. And thank you for catching the live stream. That comment you left earlier, was that for me or that was for Benny the Butcher? Because I've never spoke about Benny in the past. I never spoke about Benny the Butcher in the past. But I don't know. It's out. It's done. It's over with. It's like the Merchant in Resident Evil 4 remake says, another errand done and dusted. Done and dusted. It shouldn't have never went on this far anyway. Because it started giving a lot of these OV hoes hope on X. X is the worst. We got resident OVO glazers on there, one from Brazil, and many of them from like just various parts of the world that glaze for this man. But I wanna ask you something. He said it was responded to the video, so not you, but just making a point. Oh, okay. I look, if a person's music, I find if I enjoy a person's body of work, their money don't mean shit to me. This is what I have to say when it comes to OV hoes. OV hoes like to throw Drake's accolades, when the financial accolades in our face. I'm like, you don't have that shit either. It don't belong to you. When you open your mailbox, what OVO check do you get? Nothing. I hate when people vicariously live through their artist's success. I don't do that. Does the music appeal to me? Yes. All right, I fucks with you. Plain and simple. End of the day. That's all that really matters to me. People be like, okay, I'm you just mad. I'm like, you don't get no money. You sucking a lot of metaphorical penis out this bitch just because your favorite artist does something. It's something like J. Cole said in what song was that again? The song he did off of the Born Sinner album. Damn, me and my bitch. The one it's funny, I run coincidentally features Kendrick. He like who he like what you eat don't make me shit and who you fuck don't make me come. That's how I feel about this whole situation. That's why I choose not to vicariously live through anybody. Anybody. You ever heard the expression don't meet your heroes? I choose to keep that mindset because sometimes you might meet your heroes and it turn out they're a complete asshole. Or they're not the person they portray to be. So I tend to let the music speak for that. And you said, brother man, maybe they should do some community service or relations to help bring positivity back. Like I just seen whining and complaining. Oh my God, the whining and complaining is ridiculous. And it comes from a lot of people. Like I'll tell you now, if Nicki Minaj did some shit for Queens, that would be good. Where she's from, but no, she's online on a coke induced rampage, hyperbole, allegedly hyperbole. I have to say that she's online arguing with another fellow New York rapper over bullshit. She doesn't like the spot being shared. She doesn't like the fact that there's other women out. I'm like, you're the worst. You think she's gonna help do community service where all she cares about is herself? Nicki Minaj is out of the question. Out of the question. She's definitely out of the question. And I know it's a lot of East Coast, especially New York Central guys do not really have each other's back. There's a lot of internal turmoil going on when it comes to the rap industry. So you really think many of them gonna get together and do something for the community? I'm not saying it like I'm mad at you. I'm just explaining to you how a lot of you already know. A lot of them are play nice, and a lot of them have a lot of negative things to say. Like, what's the guy with the upper body and the little legs? Jim Jones. Jim Jones, another one. This dude, all he cares about is staying relevant. That's all he cares about. This guy actually calls himself the oldest YN in the game, but he's even lying about that because the oldest YN in the game is actually Benzino. And you know Benzino has failed as a father. Look at Coi Leray. Coi Leray has been doing nothing, but her whole image is about exploiting her petite little body, which is kind of creepy. I know she's a woman that's in legal age range, but I'm like twice that girl's age. Number one. Number two, now that she had her baby by Trippie Redd, she's shown off the fact that the natural weight gain has given her the body that she wishes she's had from the beginning of her career. And I'm like, Benzino, you want to act like the oldest wine in the game, and you have failed your daughter. You really think she gonna help the community? I mean, he's gonna do anything about the hip hop community or the community in Boston, whatever the fuck he's from? Nope. They all worried about clout that gains dollars. They're not worried about the people. They're not. Nigga out here all cock diesel on. He probably on the juice because he's like 60 with T-Rex arms and no neck having. Like, come on, man. They don't care about the people. And where I'm going with this is that people online was saying the same thing about Drake, saying this defamation suit is to help the people out in the rap game, to help the little guy out in the rap. No, it wasn't. It never was. Don't spin the narrative. It never was for that. Motherfuckers, I don't even think he said anything like that for the most part. It's his fan base who make up asinine, cockamamie stories like this because they want to, like I said, they don't care about hip hop. They just want Drake to win. They don't care about the genre. They don't. And I keep telling you guys, this is why I'm glad this lawsuit has been dismissed as non-actionable. And it took historians jumping on this. Hip hop fans, they had people from, I believe, Brown, who had Brown educated people who interjected and had to break down the story of hip hop and break down to the judge basically the rap beefs and what they said, what one said about the other, and how it correlates with past rap beefs and it just, I guess they just was lollygagging on it, but this should have been thrown out a long time ago. You can't sue people just because your feelings got hurt because somebody said something about you that wasn't true, and you said something about them that wasn't true. It's not like you're a guilty party. It's not like people see, brother man. You saw the footage of him at 23 years old on stage with the girl that was 17. And everybody is going to talk about that footage. But I have to say it again. It's not the fact that you didn't know she was 17 at the time. Well, it kind of is the fact. If you're going to be doing this part of your act back in that day, and you got girls on stage, and you doing all rubby dubby on them, maybe you should fucking ask the girl from the beginning, how old are you? He started doing it after that, but people would have gave him grace if he was like, how old are you? And she was like, I'm 17. And he was like, oh, damn, you 17? Oh my God. You know what, people? I'm sorry, everybody. This is not me. This is not how I am. You know what, young lady? I apologize and stuff. There's nothing wrong with you and stuff. It's me. This is something. This is not like me. This is just not right. But you know what? I'm gonna have my crew see you down to the stage, and we're gonna take you back there. We're gonna get you. You could pick out some merchandise. You could pick out. We give you some few things and stuff, and just make sure, you know. I just want you to understand this ain't you. And this ain't me, people, and stuff. We're gonna continue on with the show and stuff. Just make sure she's, he could have did that. No, 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 no. This is what he does. Oh, you 17? No, I can't go to jail yet. Yeah? Why you look like that? Look at all this. You thick. Look at all that. You know, I had fun 17. I like the way your breast felt against my chest. And he wonders why it seems like Not Like Us defamed him when he has shown trajectory to be a fan. And you know what that acronym for. If you know Not Like Us, you know what that acronym stands for. He has shown it repeatedly throughout the years. Haley Baldwin, now Haley Bieber, Bella Harris, two girls that said they knew you about 4 or 5 years before you started dating, which make them respectively about 14, 15 years old. That's grooming. Millie Bobby Brown. What was that? What was that? See, if you didn't have that history, Not Like Us wouldn't have took off the way it did. But it did because you had proximity to underage girls. Public proximity, that is. You had that. See, the way you move is the way people will perceive you. Let me catch up on the no, they haven't. Let me catch up on the comments. UMG hasn't made any statement yet. They're not learning from the mistakes or trying to make a positive difference anymore. No, they're not. They're not. Young Thug is a prime example of that. He ain't learned from nothing. You want to project somebody being a rat, talking about Gunna, and you turn out you the biggest fucking canary there is to me. See, when people project stuff like that, you know they can't be trusted. Case in point, Stevie Knight getting his ass whooped in that debate against ABBA. That's projection at its finest. Let me see what else you say. Actually, Drake is really not hip hop, and we gotta not make this in the. Yeah, he's not hip hop. People have been saying that for a long time, but he got hits. I like most of those hits aren't hip hop music. Most of them aren't. We already know that. You know, since need to also stop all this nonsense as well. Yeah, well, we live in a generation where people know that online doesn't garner them the consequence that physical altercations or saying it in someone's face garners them. So they continue to be online, being as egregious and how can I say tasteless as possible. They ran with this. They ran that narrative of the lawsuit, like being beneficial to the generate being being beneficial to the music. They made up. Or I mean, what am I trying to say? They ran with the narrative that the lawsuit was going to save the genre. It was going to help. It was going to be. He was going to be the voice of the voiceless, like he was CM Punk or some shit like that. Now, what this ended up doing is just basically being a way to try to stifle the success of that song. That song became its own monster. It became its own atmosphere. That song became its own atmosphere, and he had to try to stop the momentum of that song by any means necessary. And this lawsuit was that. This is basically what Not Like Us. This is what he tried to do by stopping that song with the law. The lawsuit was to stop the momentum of Not Like Us, and it failed miserably. And even a lot of his longtime fans started saying, like, yo, this is a bitch movie. Yo, TJ Envy, Vlad, of all people, I saw Damn D POV do a video about it because I refused to give Vlad any type of play. So I was watching him watch Vlad. And even Envy was like, Drake is his guy. He liked Drake's music, but that was Vlad got Envy to just outright admit, bro, that was a bitch move. The lawsuit's a bitch. It's a bitch move. It is. And it took Vlad pulling teeth to get Envy to admit that. And it was so bad, brother man, and whoever else is listening, it was so bad to the point that there was Houston events that the Breakfast Club went to, and Charlamagne knew not to go because Drake goons were looking for him just because he's not 100% Team Drake. You see the intimidation tactics? You know what? You know what can change a person's mind about you, Aubrey? If you were just a better person that made better music rather than ride the victimhood wave for a year, you would have bounced back already, like you always bounce back, right? Right? But let's be honest. Since Fuse, his popularity has been dropping. I'm not saying he's not a hit artist. His music has been taking a dive from a quality standpoint. And it took a drastic dive after the rap beef because that rap beef woke a lot of people up to what you do. People started listening to words. See, that's the thing. Kendrick Lamar was the wrong person to beef with, not because Kendrick Lamar on some lyrical miracle stuff. We know he could do that. The thing is that with an art, you going up Drake, you went up against an artist who does music that you got to listen to his albums. His albums have narratives. One of them, damn, got a Pulitzer for a reason. His album got narratives, so people are gonna listen to them multiple times. People are you as his opposition. People are gonna listen to your words too. They're gonna be like, all right, so let's really listen to this. Let's pick this apart. We live in the internet sleuth era where people fact check things way too much. That's why this whole lawsuit had a life of its own for a little bit because people fact check stuff way too hard. They don't know what a rap beef truly is. There's a lot of hyperbole and rap beef. There's always been a lot of hyperbole, and they weren't ready for that. They took shit too personal. They were like the army that Remick built in Sinners. Of all the people that got turned to vampires that night, he liked them. And when he got that guitar crash to his face, and remember how everybody felt that pain too from Sammy's guitar? That's Drake's OVO. Those the OVOs. When Remick got hit in that face and they felt that pain too, that's his hardcore fan base. That's them. And I can't wait to see the coping and sneaking that they do now that the news has been spreading for the last less than an hour about the lawsuit being dismissed. TMC had it. Hollywood Reporter has it. This is legit. This is not making up. This is real. You can go look it up yourselves. So what are you gonna do now? You're gonna do Iceman 4 rollout? You're gonna do that video? You're gonna still have Pinocchios chasing you around? Talking about people lying on you now? You're gonna still continue to do that? See, let me one last thing before I really get out of here. Iceman episode 3. Why are you running from Pinocchios who got phallic noses? These noses were ridiculously phallic, and then when they finally catch up to you, you turn your back to three Pinocchios that got phallic noses. That's sus. It's sus. But then again, I expect no less from him. All right, man. I will be out. Thank you for listening, everybody. I am finished. That's all I had to say. This lawsuit is done and dusted. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving person. Next time you want to engage in a rap battle that you said you study for a living, make sure you don't just say you study, you actually study. And understand that this just ain't the way to go. You lost. It is what it is. Anyway, because I'm a Fury, I'm here, and now I'm out. Peace.